Same year, different shit. If you're a Raiders fan, it's probably the end of the world. Yeah, so I think the rapture actually happened, and the Raider fans are all in hell because what the hell was that performance? Welcome to week 4 of the NFL. Here are my week 4 NFL predictions for the 2025 season. First, let's go over a quick recap of week 3. I went 10-6 for a total of 34-14. I guess that's kind of respectable. I'm not sure. I'll look later on at other people's scores and compare, see what's going on. But quick recap of week 3. Thursday Night Football was the Dolphins at the Bills. The Bills won 31-21. It looked like a pretty good and close game, and I don't think the Dolphins look like the worst team. They could be one of the worst teams, but because of that record, they were pretty competitive and they were neck and neck almost the whole game until two threw that pick at and like one of their final offensive drives. So yeah, that kind of sucked. Then the Sunday game, somehow the Packers lost to the Browns 10-13. It was a very defensive game and blocked field goals galore. And then Joe Flacco drove with the final drive of the game for the game-winning field goal. So, yeah, that was a very tough loss for the Packers. Then we got the Bengals taking on the Vikings. The Bengals lost 10-48. I was very, very disappointed by this. They didn't look good at all. The Vikings just mollywopped all over them. And Carson Wentz, who was starting for the Vikings. And Carson Wentz that was like, he came out of nowhere. What the hell was that? Oh, yeah, I forgot to say. I was correct with the Bills. I was incorrect with the Packers. And I was incorrect with the Bengals. I was correct choosing the Steelers, 21-14. Didn't look that great of a game. I checked in every now and then. It was kind of boring, but Steelers won. I was correct in choosing the Eagles to beat the Rams. I didn't want the Eagles to win, ultimately, because it was a very fun game from what I saw. But I think the Rams were going to kick a field goal either to tie or win the game. Eagles blocked it, returned it for a touchdown. So, yeah, I think the Eagles feel like the new Chiefs for me. I really, really don't like the Eagles anymore. I just only wanted them to win to defeat their overlord, reigning over them the past few seasons, such as when I was rooting for the Chiefs to beat the Patriots all those years ago. But yeah, Rams, it's not the end of the world for them. They're still competitive and fun to watch. I was correct in choosing the Buccaneers to beat the Jets in what I thought the Jets were going to win. But ultimately, Baker did Baker things. Unfortunately, Mike Evans is out. I was incorrect in choosing the Raiders to beat the Commanders. Same shit over and over again. We were in it for quite a while. Our defense was keeping us in. And then we just kind of shit the bed by letting Marcus Mariota run all over us. And yeah, Geno Smith threw 3 touchdowns, but ultimately it doesn't matter when it came at the end of the game when, just didn't fucking matter. I was correct in choosing the Jags to beat the Texans. Looked like a boring game. Didn't really watch much of it. I was correct in choosing the Colts to beat the Titans, and goddamn fucking Daniel Jones. He's one of the best quarterbacks statistically right now. Good for him. I was incorrect in choosing the Falcons to beat the Panthers. Holy shit. This felt like something I should have chose the Panthers to win. Just because I'm like, okay, yeah, they should get it together in this divisional game. Holy shit. That was a very fun watch from what I saw. Bryce Young looks great. I was correct in choosing the Chargers to beat the Broncos. Game-winning field goal. Very fun game from what I saw. I was correct in choosing the Seahawks to beat the Saints. Holy shit. That was a mollywop. Yeah. I was incorrect in choosing the Bears. I was incorrect in choosing the Cowboys to beat the Bears. Wow, just totally surprising from the Bears. Cowboys, let's hope this is their downfall and that they stop getting primetime games in the future, especially on Thanksgiving. Fuck the Cowboys. I was correct in choosing the Niners to beat the Cardinals. I didn't watch much of the game, but from what I saw, another competitive game. Mac Jones is still good, and it's kind of fun to see Mac Jones be competitive like that. I was correct in choosing the Chiefs to beat the Giants in what was a pretty boring game for a while. It was just field goals, and then the Chiefs realized that they had an offense and started winning. Russell Wilson, he's benched now. Jackson Dart's going to start for them, which might be for the better. Then I was incorrect in choosing the Ravens to beat the Lions, 38-30. So, just so you know, the game wasn't this close. The Lions kind of had it on lock. It was pretty close in the first half, but then the Lions just fucking belted their asses in the second half. And yet again, another Derrick Henry fumble in the fourth quarter that kind of sealed the game for them. All right, let's move on to my week 4 predictions. Thursday Night Football, we got the Seahawks taking on the Cardinals. These are always fun divisional matches, any team in the NFC West. Going with the Seahawks. They're more strong. I have more faith in their roster. Sam Darnold, yeah, I'm just surprised that he went to another team and he's still as efficient as ever. So yeah, I'm very happy for Sam Darnold. They just looked like the better roster, and their wins have been more fun and exciting to watch. This will be a very competitive game though. Kyler Murray, as athletic as he is, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to stand a chance against this team who just came off of a massive win. Then we got our Sunday games. The Vikings taking on the Steelers. This is a foreign game. I don't know where it's being played at. I really can't remember. Let me check real quick. I just want to be absolutely sure because it is an early game. In the West Coast, it's at 6:30. Let's see. I'm sorry, I'm taking so long for this. Dublin, Ireland. Okay, that's right. I saw commercials for this. Okay. This is interesting because Carson Wentz looks great. Aaron Rodgers looks good. He doesn't look stunning though. He doesn't look great like he did in week 1. And this is when we're going to finally start to tell who these teams are after week 4. I'm going with the Vikings. Their win looked very impressive, much better than any of the Steelers' wins they've had this season. And I don't know, I'm kind of disappointed with the Steelers so far. Their wins haven't been that dominant, and I think Carson Wentz, based off of his performance this past week, looks far better than anything Aaron Rodgers has done. So I'm going with Carson Wentz. The resurgence of Carson Wentz is back. And I'm going to be honest, just start him over J.J. McCarthy for the rest of the season. I like to be very frank. Because J.J. McCarthy hasn't looked all too great. He has some good flashes, but ultimately just... Then we got the rest of the Sunday games. The Commanders taking on the Falcons. Falcons coming off of a very brutal loss against the Panthers, who they were very expected to win against. And the Commanders coming off of a very massive win against the Raiders. Marcus Mariota, I had my doubts in him, but ultimately he looks great. It's as if Jaden Daniels was still there. So I'm going with the Commanders on the win because they looked very dominant against the Raiders, unfortunately for me. Then we got the Saints taking on the Bills. The Bills, because the Saints suck. God damn it, I keep fucking up that joke. Look at this. I mean, the Bills are one of the most dominant teams this year, and the Saints have still not recorded a win. Spencer Rattler is 0-9 now, and as a starting quarterback in his career. God damn, that's quite unfortunate because he's had some great moments. He's had some really good games this season. But yeah, unfortunately, they just can't get it done. They can't get over the hump, and they don't look like one of the worst teams in the NFL, but their record surely shows it. The Bills, on the other hand, are just dominant, and they're coming off of an extra few days of rest since they played that Thursday game last week. So, no doubt in my mind, the Bills are going to win. I mean, the Saints' defense can be good at times, and that offense can surely move the ball at times, but you can't depend on at times when you're against a team like the Bills. Then we got the Browns taking on the Lions. Both of these teams are coming off of some pretty good wins. The Browns in a more defensive struggle. The Lions their defense really put a clamp on the Ravens. There's so many drives where the Ravens just couldn't get through on these third downs, and Lamar Jackson was getting swarmed and sacked so many times. So yeah, both teams have good defenses, but one of them has a much better defense, and one of them especially has a much better offense. I still like Joe Flacco, but unfortunately, I just don't see him getting it done against the Lions. The Lions are doing their best to prove that they are more than what their coordinators were for the last few seasons. And you know what? I really want the Lions to go to the Super Bowl because I think it'll be so damn fun to see. Because I don't want this to be like the last chance for the Lions. Losing their coordinators, missing out on their chance when they lost to the Niners in the championship a few years ago because I fucking hated that game. Like I just got out of poor things, and I'm all like, oh my god, the Lions are fucking mollywhopping the Niners, and the Niners came back and it's fucking horseshit. But yeah, I really want the Lions to come back for this. I really want them to make the Super Bowl this season. Then we got the Panthers taking on the Patriots. Both teams are 1-2. Damn, I really don't know. This is a very tough game for me because the Panthers have had way more lows than the Patriots. And both of these teams, damn. I don't know. So I'm going to be honest. My gut's telling me the Patriots. I want to choose the Panthers. I really do. So, Patriots. Damn, it's quite unfortunate because the Panthers' only win looks much better than the Patriots' only win. And I really want Bryce Young to do well. I really do. But my gut's telling me the Patriots are going to take this. I mean, I can't really say much because I haven't seen much of the Patriots. I mean, Drake May looks good. He has flashes of great play. But so does Bryce Young. I do like Chuba Hubbard a lot. And he didn't have that connection. Renfro and Young didn't have that connection last game. Young threw the ball around quite a bit. But damn, let me look at the Panthers' last game against the Falcons, real quick. Who did he have touchdown passes to? In the 30-0 win, Bryce Young, 121 yards. Oh, he didn't have any touchdown passes. That's interesting. I forgot. But he did throw the ball around quite a bit. Not a whole lot of passing yards, 121. It looks like their rushing game. I mean, they dealt with it. Chuba Hubbard, no touchdowns. Rico Dowdle has a touchdown, and Bryce Young ran into a touchdown. That's right. I remember seeing that. My gut's telling me the Patriots. Nah, fuck it. Panthers. Going on a whim. Panthers are the underdogs. Going on a whim and saying the Panthers are going to do something. I'm going to regret this. Just because there's been a few picks every week that I've just been sort of like, oh, had to be the other one. So this is my like only fucking wild pick this week, okay? Chargers are going to beat the Giants because the Giants fucking suck. Okay, then we got the Eagles taking on the Bucks. Okay, serious. Chargers, one of the most dominant teams this year. Justin Herbert has the most passing yards. He legit looks like the best quarterback in the league right now. And hell, when did they play last week? Oh, no, that's right, they played the Broncos. Yeah, he's throwing it effortlessly, Justin Herbert. It doesn't even look like he's fucking trying. On the other hand, Russell Wilson couldn't get it done, unfortunately. And they were throwing in Jackson Dart every now and then just to kind of throw the other team off guard. And I think they were waiting. That was for this moment. It was for, okay, fuck it, just throw in Jackson Dart now. But I don't like what Brian Dable's doing. He's all like, yeah, I cut off my line and I'm yelling at him from the sideline. I'm cutting off his microphone and his earpiece so I can yell at him from the sideline. I think Brian Dable's a fucking awful coach. I'm sorry. He's gone midway in this season, unfortunately, if they keep losing games like this. And unfortunately, that's going to be the case. Eagles taking on the Bucks. I'm saying it now, I don't like the Eagles. I really don't like the Eagles anymore. I only like them when they're supposed to be the best team in the league a few years back, and then, just dominant wins, and then unfortunately lost in the Super Bowl because of a ticky-tacky bullshit call for fucking Mahomes. Fuck Mahomes, and now fuck the Eagles. They're the new Chiefs, I think. And you know what? Anyone can run to tush push, but if anyone else ran it, I think they'd get those offsides and false start calls because they are obviously doing it. And if they're able to do like the replay assist for fucking catches and runs and ball placements, why can't they do it for fucking false starts calls and shit? Because I really think they should do that because there's a lot of false starts going on and the refs aren't seeing it. Like fucking Jawan Taylor. Is that his name on the Chiefs? The right tackle for the Chiefs? Jawan something? Yeah, fuck him. He's doing it all the time. And you know what? Justin Hurts had a good game this past week against the Rams. He had a few touchdowns. Let me see. Sorry. Yeah, he had 3 touchdown passes, finally, and a touchdown run. So, yeah, Just Jalen. Fuck me. Why Jalen Hurts? I don't know why I was getting confused with Justin Herbert because of both JHs. Jalen Hurts is like their whole fucking team basically. Without him, they'll fall apart surely. But I think the same can be said for the Bucks. I'm going with the Bucks. This is my other wild pick this week because they're both very competitive teams. Although they won't have Mike Evans, the Bucks will have their other receiver, who has been a flashing star this year so far. What the hell is his name? I keep forgetting it. Egbuka, that's right. Yeah, he's their other flashing star. So yeah, Baker is the one doing it for him. They won't have Mike Evans, unfortunately, but he's still gonna come back in a few. He's had the same injury he's had every single year, basically, but he's going to come back and still do his 1,000-yard season and have like the longest stretch of 1,000-yard seasons for a receiver. That'll be great. But yeah, the Eagles just haven't had a dominant win this season. All their games have been surprisingly close. And, I'm getting tired of the Eagles. I really am. I'm sorry. Because they've had these like ugly losses last year and they just rattle off wins. Deservedly so because they're winning. Because they're winning, of course. But I don't know. I just want them to get taken down. And from what I'm hearing, this is going to be like a very strong competitive matchup if it comes time for the playoffs. So I got the Bucks for this. Titans taking on the Texans. Holy shit, both of these teams fucking suck. This is an AFC South divisional matchup. Have we had any divisional matchups so far? Yeah, the NFC West. Looks about it, yeah. Okay, AFC South divisional matchup. Nothing's going right for any of these teams, unfortunately. So here's what I'm gonna do, because I don't give a shit about either team. I'm doing a coin flip, because I really don't give a shit about the Titans or the Texans. Yeah, nothing's going right for these teams. So I got a quarter. Heads. Will it do it? No. Whatever. Heads for Titans, tails for Texans. I really don't give a shit about this game. Here we go. Titans. Fuck this game. Then we got the Colts taking on the Rams. Going with the Colts. Fucking Indiana Jones. Daniel Jones on his fucking comeback. The Rams are the much more competitive team, though. But holy shit, Daniel Jones is a surprise this season. I'm sorry, I'm going with Daniel Jones. The Rams coming off of a very brutal loss. Quite unfortunate because they are one of the most competitive teams, within the past few years. But my gut's telling me that Daniel Jones is going to keep fucking rattling off these wins. I'm sorry. I love Stafford, and it's good that Devontae Adams has still got it. He's still got it. He had a touchdown pass last week. But yeah, brutal loss against the Eagles. The Colts, I don't know, man. They're a fucking surprise. Then we got the Jags taking on the Niners. The Niners. Because, yeah, the Jags had a great game last week against the hell. Who the hell are they called? The Texans, yeah. Great win. Shit, no, I was thinking about the competitive game against the Bengals a few weeks ago. No. They had a win against the Texans last week. Trevor Lawrence threw one pick. Etienne had a touchdown run, and Tutton had a touchdown run. Fuck, is that it? Yeah, I'm glad I didn't watch that game. Looked like a boring game. The Niners, on the other hand, though, are, surprising because of how much fucking injuries they're dealing with. They won't have Bosa this week. That's quite unfortunate for them. But they still have their other weapons. They still have McCaffrey. Mac Jones is great. They still have fucking Pearsall, right? He came in, I think, last year. Yeah, they still got that strong defense. They still have a great system in place with Shanahan. So yeah, Niners are taking this. Then we got... Why isn't this Sunday Night Football? What is Sunday Night Football? Oh, never mind. That's right. Ravens taking on the Chiefs. Ravens. Chiefs have struggled. They've they've had close losses, and then yeah, their win looked like it was a big margin against the Giants, but it's the fucking Giants, okay? You should be winning by a lot against the fucking Giants. They haven't been good in quite a few years. Oh god, this looks ugly on me. Better. So yeah, Ravens coming off of a very tough loss. They're 1-2, but it's fine. Remember when they started 0-2 last season? The Ravens are fine, okay? As long as they got all their weapons, Henry, Jackson, Andrews, Flowers. Am I right? It's fucking Flowers on the Ravens. Like, I didn't really keep up with football this week. I'm sorry. Yeah, as long as they got Jackson, Henry, Andrews. Oh, Bateman. That's right, Rashad Bateman. Yeah, he had quite a few touchdowns. He had a touchdown last week, and Mark Andrews had 2. That's right. Yeah, and Flowers. Fucking DeAndre Hopkins. He's still around. That's right. So as long as they still got all these weapons, their offense is exciting to watch. Their defense, on the other hand, has just been kind of letting teams stomp on them, quite unfortunately. Like the Bills and the Lions are just fucking running all over them. Those are games where the Ravens were in it. They were quite in it. The Chiefs, on the other hand, just look ugly. Yeah, Mahomes is throwing touchdowns, and Travis Kelce is catching, has a lot of yards. But you know what? Their bullshit magic's running out. Maybe Mahomes is going down the path of Brady, where we won 3 Super Bowls, and then there's 10 seasons of not winning a Super Bowl. So let's hope that's the case for the Chiefs. Oh shit, Travis Kelce didn't even have a touchdown last week. Yeah, I think he's on his last leg. This might be his last season. Yeah, Ravens. Sorry. Then we got the Bears taking on the Raiders. We're going with the Bears because the Raiders fucking suck. Okay, let's talk about this game though. The Bears had a very surprising win against the Cowboys. They looked great. They did a flea flicker. I love seeing flea flickers. Ravens, on the other hand, the Raiders, on the other hand, their defense is doing their absolute damnedest to keep them in the games. But unfortunately, they can't do it all game. Our offense has to fucking score, and they're not doing it. Yeah, Geno Smith had 3 touchdowns, but when do they come in the game? Geno Smith, he has a lot of yards. I think he's like second in passing yards this season. What the hell? But also, yeah, our offensive line fucking sucks. He got sacked so many goddamn times. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He got sacked 5 goddamn times this game. 289 yards on 19 for 29 with 3 touchdowns. And yeah, Ashton Genty, we can't run the goddamn ball if our offensive line sucks ass. Okay? He's getting met at or behind the line. He's running off for a few good rushes, like for 10 yards here and there. But if we don't have a good line, we're going to have a bad time. So yeah, the Bears, on the other hand, their win was very dominant. It was against the Cowboys, though. So yeah, I got the Bears winning this. I have no fucking faith in my team this season. We're gonna start 1-3, and then it's just a doom season, and we're just gonna have to wait till next season to look good. Realistic me was saying we're gonna win maybe 6 games. I don't even think we're gonna win fucking 6 games this season now. Sunday night football. We got the Packers taking on the Cowboys. Also, notice how I didn't do my the Raiders voice because I fucking hate my team. Then we got Sunday Night Football. Packers taking on the Cowboys. Go with the Packers. Come on. It's the Cowboys. Yeah, they're at home. Yeah, they got the home crowd. But come on. Let's look at the Packers real quick. How did they do last game? Against the Browns. Yeah, coming off of a fucking bad loss against the Browns. Jordan Love had a pick. Like, he has untimely picks. That's quite unfortunate. But, yeah. Who did they pick up? Micah Parsons. That's right. They got him from the Cowboys. So this is that Micah Parsons revenge game. The Cowboys, on the other hand. How did Dak do this game? What, he had a few picks? 2 picks, that's right. 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 250 yards, going 31 for 40. Yeah. Can they get it done? Like honestly, can the Cowboys get it done? No, I don't trust them. Dak's still a solid quarterback. He's got to go somewhere else though, because the Cowboys aren't doing him any favors. Because they're the fucking Cowboys. They haven't been relevant since the '90s. Or hell, even Tony Romo. Well, yeah, I mean, because they win games. That's the thing with the Cowboys. They win these regular season games, then they look like hot shit, and then they go to the playoffs and they're fucking ass. Packers, because it'll be really fucking funny to see them whoop the Cowboys at home. Yeah. Like, I like Josh Jacobs. I want him to do great. And I like Jordan Love a whole lot. I want him to do great. Then we got our stupid doubleheader Monday Night Football. Jets taking on the Dolphins. Bengals taking on the Broncos. Going with the Jets on this. Dolphins, they got to pick it up, man. I mean, hell, look at the Jets. Tyrod Taylor had a great game. I mean, Tua had a good game too, except for that untimely pick, unfortunately. I'm not sure if Justin Fields is coming in, but Tyrod Taylor seemed to get it done. 26 for 36, 197 yards, and 2 tutties, but 1 pick. And Tua, on the other hand, he was going toe-to-toe with the Bills. That's good to see. 22 for 34, 146 yards, 2 tutties, and a pick. Yeah, I don't know. I want the Jets to do good. I really do. But I also want the Dolphins to do good. But I'm going on a whim saying the Jets are going to win because I think it'll be really funny. Yeah, this is unfortunate. This might be the loss that gets either Tua or McDaniels booted. I think McDaniels first. I really think this might be the loss that gets McDaniels booted. I don't want to see that, but it just seems like that's the nature of the beast. It's either that or he's gone in a few weeks after this, if it's a loss. Then we got the Bengals taking on the Broncos. The Broncos, because they're much more competitive. The Bengals had coming off of an ugly loss against Vikings, was it? I think so. Sorry, I gotta look at this real quick. Yeah. I had more faith in Jake Browning. I really did. I didn't see much of that game, but I knew it was a fucking mollywop. Jake Browning, 2 interceptions, 140 yards, 1 touchdown. God damn. I had way more faith in him. But you know what? I didn't have faith in that Brian Flores defense. Blitzing all the time. Getting pressure. Broncos, Bengals. Broncos are fucking taking this easily. How about 45 points? I really don't have much to say. The Bengals are sad. Somehow they're 2-1. Somehow they're 2-1. But you know what? Whatever. So, those are my picks for week 4 of the NFL 2025 season. Yeah, I was kind of off this week for some reason. As in, I don't know why I wasn't, more descriptive as I have in the past. I think I was doing much better last season with this. I really don't know what's up with me this year. I'm just not watching as many highlights and games as I was last season. But yeah, okay, those are my picks. This is the week where teams will go 0-4, 4-0, 2-2, 1-3, or 3-1. That's the nature of the beast this early on. So yeah, those are my picks. Tell me what you thought about my picks. How are you doing this season? Because as of now, I am 34-14. I think that's pretty respectable. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you next week. Bye.